Hi there, my name is Kimberly Inez Mays, and I have a question for you. Have you ever heard the statement, if you're not using AI, your competitors will? Yes, a lot of coaches love to say this. A lot of AI influencers love to say this. But what if I told you that you don't need to have AI FOMO? So, for those who don't know me, let me introduce myself. And I want to introduce this cat too. Well, this is Kimberly and Kenzo, and I demystify technology for small and medium sized service based businesses so that they can stop duct taping their systems together and scale with confidence. And I do so through marketing, automation, and AI. And this is Kenzo Lorenzo Black, who finally decided to sit down on my lap. He might stand up and make an appearance a little bit later. But before I get into it, if you find this valuable, please like and share because sharing is caring. Now let's get into it. So, do you have AI FOMO or is AI FOMO being forced upon you? Do you feel like, oh, well, you need to adopt every single AI strategy or tool or whatever being presented to you because if you don't, your competitors will? What if I told you that AI is not it's not unlike any other tool you may have come across? And tools being email marketing, invoicing, calendars, et cetera, right? And because at the end of the day, your business is your business and your competitor's business is their business. And while it's great to keep up with your competitors, you need to do so in a way that honors you, your strategy, and the unique business owner and person that you are. And don't forget that you went into business to solve a problem for your clients or for your target client, ideal client. So if AI helps you do that, great. But if it doesn't, then it's merely another distraction. And I want to talk about this statement because I've heard it so many times. And so when they say use AI, most people think, okay, I'm going to prompt something into Chat GPT, copy and paste that output, stick it on a landing page somewhere, stick it on a website, use it for copywriting or whatever. Maybe some people use an AI tool for ideas, that maybe they use it for research. There's so many different ways to use AI tools. But within all of those ways to use AI tools, people are also, when I say people, businesses are also creating their own tools. So right now, you cannot open up a cloud based SaaS application without hitting an AI component. So literally, it's everywhere, just like ranch sauce, right? Because that's something I used to say all the time. AI is everywhere, put on everything, just like ranch sauce. So how do you determine if you need that or not? Well, like I always say before, go back to your strategy, go back to how you operate, go back to the problems that you solve, what you provide as an outcome as of doing business with you. So let's say if you're a coach, right? Maybe you're a life coach, you're a nutritionist coach, you're a relationship coach, wellness coach, you're a business coach, and you provide solutions for your client with whatever problem that they have. How can AI help you do that better, right? It's not about using a tool that you come across on Facebook or in some conference or anything, but how can you use AI to help you do your job better? So you can use AI in your marketing, for example, if you need to create content faster, if that is in alignment with what you're already doing and what you've planned, or you can use AI to streamline your operations, or you can use AI during the fulfillment of your service. But it really takes a lot of planning because you can't just implement an AI tool, kind of just let it rip and run and not check it. Because at the end of the day, you don't want to outsource your thinking, your decision making, and you need to understand how these products work. You need to understand how a large language model works. You need to understand differences between different types of models and the different types of platforms. And if you're using AI within a platform, within a platform maybe you subscribe to, you need to know what version of that AI it's using. You need to verify and vet its output, and you need to determine when it's time to go further with it or abandon ship. And I had some notes here that I'm just going to look really fast because I had some interesting stats too. So, what I had looked up is FOMO is driving adoption. New surveys show two-thirds of AI decision makers say fear of being left behind significantly influences AI adoption decisions, underscoring that herd pressure, not strategy, that often drives spend. So if you feel like you have to do something, check in and see if it's an emotional reaction. See if we are, and I say we because I include myself too, see if it's in response to feeling left out, feeling like, okay, well, the market understands something I don't, so I have to do this thing, or if it's really in alignment with what you really want to do. I say start slowly. Start by solving one of your own problems. If it's copywriting, great. If you're spending all of your time writing copy or coming up with new ideas, then target and do that thing. If it's project management, for example, determining estimates to give back to your customers, your clients on specific deliverables, and you want to put your data in to see about how long will a particular task takes, like operations fulfillment, do that thing and do that thing only. And start with one thing, refine it, and make sure it's working before moving on to the next. Because it's going to be everywhere. Well, not going to be, it is everywhere. And what I am finding out for myself and what I am finding out for so many businesses is that there is now a pushback on AI adoption. People are reining it in a little bit, but the influencers are saying, no, you need to go full throttle, full speed ahead. And I'm telling you that you don't have to choose a side. You can do both and. Just start small and start strategically because these products, these tools are not going anywhere. And then it also says that commentators and practitioners describe AI FOMO as a common executive bias that leads to rushed rollouts, misaligned priorities rather than impact, warning against copying rivals without readiness or fit. So just because you think your competitor is using AI, what are they using it for? And number two is what they're doing working? Because sometimes we'll copy a strategy that's not even working for the person that we're or the business that we're copying it from. So determine if it's actually working for them. And if you don't know if it's working for them, then don't worry about it. Find stuff that works for you. And then let me see if I can find some numbers in my model. Not my model, in my notes, because if I can't find those numbers right now, I will definitely talk about those numbers in the description. Um, you know, you want to just filter out the hype from things that are really going to help. And I remember this so vividly because I can think of other tools that were more hype than help. Um, Fancy CRMs, for example, right? If there is a fancy CRM that a business owner invests in, whether they're a solopreneur, small business with some VAs, small teams, or even a medium-sized company, right? Say if there's like a fancy tool that they feel that they need to invest in. It has so many features and they see the potential, they see the scale, but it's not in their roadmap, but they want it because there was an emotional, herd driven decision to implement it. What tends to happen is number one, you have to bring people along with you. So if you have a team, you have to figure out, all right, well, will they adopt it or will there be a lot of friction in adaptation? And then number two is the opportunity cost because the time it takes to do one thing removes the time it takes to do another thing. So what's the opportunity cost of adopting something just because you feel you have to? So just be mindful of that because it's sneaky, it's insidious because you hear so much about AI tools and AI being the future, yes. But don't forget that at the core things, your target audience, your ideal client has a problem that needs you to solve it. And if you can't do that because you're dabbling in a tool, you're arguing with your staff on how to use it, maybe it's not even giving you good results, and you're spending time spinning your wheels in research mode trying to figure out what he, her, and him are doing, then it's going to be very hard to devote that time to solving the problem, which is why you went into business in the first place. So you need to evaluate your need, readiness, and value first. So I also put strategy focused guidance urges leaders to start with business problems, not tools. As I always say on repeat all the time, Like your tool is not your strategy. People always come to me, it's like, oh, which one should I use? Which platform should I use? Should I use this one or that one? I say, I'm sorry for stuttering, but I say they all work, right? Every single freaking tool out there will eventually do the same thing. I think being that I'm 20 plus years into marketing technology, it's very, very hard and very, very difficult to impress me on anything. It's very difficult to sell me on hype of any software product. I'm sorry, that's just my stance in it, and I said what I said. And that keeps me grounded because I'm not afraid to abandon ship and pivot and go somewhere else. I'm not afraid to stick with what's working, or I'm not afraid, and most importantly, I'm not afraid to say, okay, that's nice, but no, thank you. And things that are presented to me as the all in one, solution driven, whatever, I'm not afraid to say, okay, that works for you. I love that for you, but no, thank you for me. And I stand in that because at the end of the day, I feel like anything that does not help you with the mission that you've set out to do is a pure distraction. So, strategy first, tools second. Kenzo. Kenzo just presses his little paw and messes up everything on my tablet. All right, so we're going to take a kitty cat break. Here's the cat. Here's my main distraction. Speaking of distractions, yes, jump down. You might hear him meow, but I think he is going to go under the chair and he's going to do what he does. So let me just see if there's anything in my notes that I have not talked about. There's some sources that I'm going to share with you, but I came across a term that is so vital, so important that I'm sorry that I not bring it up further. It's called work slop. Busy work for the sake of busyness. And remember when I said that adopting a new tool presents an opportunity cost? And not all opportunity costs are bad, but it just means that time spent doing one thing is not time spent doing another thing. So decide if that opportunity cost is worth it, because that opportunity cost could be what is known as work slop. So work slop, as it's defined here, is just busyness, busy work for the sake of working, right? So if you are just doing low quality AI mandated thing where the tool creates rework and drags productivity, that's work slop. If you spend all day prompting ChatGPT for a response and you're getting frustrated, or if you're in some sort of other tool, and I'm not even going to pick on the large language models, right? Because they're really powerful if you know how to use them. But what if you're using a tool inside your SaaS application that has an AI feature that's not giving you what you want, right? And you are spending all day trying to figure it out, trying to connect the dots. Maybe you see a new module here, or a new plugin, or a new integration there, and you just have to try it out. So those low quality activities are called work slop. And I think FOMO, the fear of missing out, the rush adaptation of AI tools, produces that work slop for you and your team, especially you and your VAs, if you're not physically in the same location, if they're working on other products or projects, if whatever the case may be, right? So don't think that you need to rush into anything. This technology is evolving rapidly for sure, and I'm talking about that, but it's also not going anywhere because at the end of the day, the same target audience that you want to attract still has the problems that they need you to solve. All right. So that's all I got to say about that. Be sure to like and share. Sharing is caring. Also, I do have a gift for you. So if you have not done so already, take my AI Systems Scorecard quiz. It's just a 5-minute assessment or 5-question assessment, not even 5 minutes, but 5 questions just to see where you're at in 5 distinct areas that I talk about, right? So these are my pillars: automation, your team, content creation, just so much more, right? So I have 5 pillars that I talk about. And at the end of the quiz, you get a specific score and you get a specific strategy to know exactly where you are and what your next step is. All right. So with that, that's all I got to say about that. Hope you enjoyed this. Hope you enjoyed the cameo by Kenzo. Hopefully he shows up a little bit later. But for now, I have to part and say adieu. All right. Take care and be well. Bye.